Less than an hour away from the modern city of Hiroshima is Japan's shrine island of Miyajima. Located in the western part of the Seto inland sea and home to the famous floating red torii, a view that has become one of the most defining symbols of Japan. It would be a shame to visit Hiroshima and not see this mysterious island. So today, I am taking you along on our day trip to explore Miyajima's natural beauty and cultural heritage, and to discover why this island is home to some of the most popular scenic views in Japan.
Miyajima is the third stop from here. Thank you.
To get to Miyajima Island, we are first taking the train from Hiroshima Station to Miyajima Station, and then making our way to the ferry terminal. This journey takes less than an hour, and because we are going during off-season in January, the train feels very empty and there aren't that many people taking the ferry. The most popular seasons to visit Miyajima Island are autumn and also spring for the cherry blossoms. However, this trip coincides with our visit to Hiroshima, making it a perfect winter day trip.
We are currently waiting for the ferry. I am so excited. You can actually already see the torii in the background. This is something I wanted to do for such a long time.
Miyajima can be translated to Shrine Island. However, the official name is Itsukushima, meaning Island of Worship. Over time, Miyajima became more commonly used, especially with visitors. It's shorter, easier to remember, and directly evokes the image of the shrine and the floating torii, which is what most people associate with the island.
This is definitely one of the most exciting things I've done in Japan so far. Seeing the torii during high tide, I'm so happy. Low tide is okay too. It means you can walk up to the torii, but I just really wanted to see it in the water. We're getting off now. Let's go explore Japan's Shrine Island. I'm so happy we came here during the non-busy season, during low season, because the boat wasn't too busy and there was loads of seats and we could have the top deck. It's actually warm here. I mean, obviously we're in Hiroshima, which is south of Tokyo, but I just didn't expect it to be this warm. This is mild spring weather. It's a little bit odd, but I feel like I'm on a resort. I guess maybe in a way it is if you're staying here overnight. The atmosphere is completely different. It's very slow, it's very relaxed.
A popular attraction of Miyajima are the wild deer, who casually roam the island's streets, much like those in Nara. However, there is a key distinction. Unlike in Nara, where tourists can feed the deer with special deer crackers called shika senbei, Miyajima has implemented a no-feeding policy. This wasn't always the case. In 2008, city officials banned deer feeding to reduce human-deer conflicts, preserve their natural foraging habits, and prevent health issues caused by the deer consuming harmful materials like plastic bags. By discouraging direct feeding, this hoped to promote a more responsible form of wildlife tourism, instead encouraging visitors to appreciate the deer from a distance. Despite this, the deer in Miyajima still pursue visitors for food and plastics. With the many food stalls and restaurants around, ultimately the responsibility falls on the visitors to ensure that human food or trash does not reach the deer.
The deer are actually pretty friendly. They're not as viciously after your food as they are in Nara, but they're still quite cheeky. They will still go after your ice cream. I am amazed by how clear this water is. Beautiful.
The famous red torii is believed to be the boundary between the spiritual and the human world. At high tide, it looks as though the great torii is floating on the waters of the Seto inland sea. If you want your trip to coincide with the high tide, there are several websites that offer Miyajima tide predictions, although I would recommend spending an entire day here and catching both the high and the low tide. The famous floating red torii is part of the Itsukushima Shrine Complex, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a national treasure, and one of the 3 most scenic places in Japan. This shrine is a must-see if you're exploring the island.
This guides you everywhere. And if you want that beautiful picture with the torii in the background, I believe this is the ideal spot to go. So we have entered the shrine now, and I honestly think this is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been to in Japan. It was only 300 yen per person, which I think is incredible. And to get here is pretty cheap too, like the ferry is cheap. Everything is just so beautiful here. The tide is going down now. You can actually see where the tide used to be, and it's quite high. This is kind of low. I know by the forecast that it is going down now. John's just mentioned that there are fish in this water. We are walking onto the deck now. So this is the famous photo spot. For 300 yen, that was 100% worth it. How does it look?
Awful.
Miyajima is also home to a sacred mountain known as Mount Misen. There are trails leading up the mountain, but if you want a more relaxing day or are pressed for time like us, you can also catch a ride on the scenic ropeway going up the mountain.
I just had to take some plastic from a deer. Please do not leave your plastic around. It's very dangerous for them. Now my fingers smell like deer spit, which is just lovely. I'm glad that it was a female deer. I feel like the female deer are a little bit more gentle, at least in my experience of dealing with Japanese deer. I don't have a lot of experience, but I have met them in Nara before, and I found that the male deer are the most aggressive. I'm just telling John how I felt like I was in an episode of Nichijou. You know, where the principal fights the deer? That was me with the deer and this plastic. Who did this? The ropeway is actually quite up a hill, but I really wanted to make it to the top just to get that beautiful view. Oh, it swings. It does say if the winds are too strong, they might suspend operation. I just wanted to do two things on this trip. Number one, visit the beautiful torii. Number two, visit the beautiful ropeway. And oh, here we go. It's so humid in the forested area that my camera lens is steamed up. So this is what the ropeway car looks like inside. I'm loving life. This is just so cool because the weather is so nice and it's such a good day. I really thought it was going to be cold, but we ended up being so hot. I'm also amazed that this is winter and look how evergreen this place is. It feels like summertime. It doesn't even feel like winter at all. You can see a lot from here.
Getting on Mount Misen via the ropeway is the least strenuous route. However, keep in mind that you have to take two separate cable cars and there are plenty of steps on the way to the ropeway station itself and during the layover for the second cable car. Also, give yourself plenty of time if you want to get right to the summit of Mount Misen, as that in itself is a 30-minute hike once you leave the ropeway.
Thank you for taking the Miyajima ropeway today.
We decided to fully explore the observation deck, leaving us with plenty of time to get back to sea level and do some souvenir shopping.
We have made it to Mount Misen. I can't believe how green it is. I was expecting it to look dry and withered, but it's luscious and green.
Once you've reached the observation deck on Mount Misen, you can see incredible views over Hiroshima Bay as well as the surrounding islands. Mount Misen is known for its undisturbed forest, which has been designated a national monument of Japan. This forest is a habitat for various conifer and evergreen broadleaf trees, explaining the spectacular greenery even during the winter months.
It's so refreshing to see all this greenery during the winter time. I mean, look at all these colors. The air here, it's so fresh. What I really love as well is how there's plaques telling you about what you're looking at. This is such a special place. I recommend this to absolutely everybody. If you're visiting Hiroshima, which you should by the way because it's an incredible city, this place, it's so peaceful. This is an absolute gem in Japan and it's as if it's got its own climate because in Hiroshima it's a little bit chilly, but here it's warm and spring-like and there's so many evergreen trees and so many pines. Next time my mum is in Japan, next time Angelina is in Japan, I am taking them here, 100%. That was amazing. This will be very hard to undo. We rushed down to try and get some souvenirs and we did get a couple. I am amazed right now because the tide is going down and people are on the sand and you can get closer to the torii, which is something I really wanted to do. It's a completely different scene, isn't it? I feel so lucky that we are here during the high tide and the low tide. Not super low tide because you still can't go right up to it, but you can definitely get closer. It's 5 o'clock. I must buy this. I love this so much. Shika coffee Miyajima. Wait, how much is this? Because I'm going to buy it. My fortune. It's very cute. I just hope I have good luck.
ご利益がありますように。Good luck.
Oh, okay. Siokichi. A little luck. A little luck. That's not bad. Spend money on what you can enjoy. Money, luck can be attracted by using it. Why don't you report your weight on social media every day? Force yourself to be disciplined. If you get a lucky charm, put it at the entrance and greet every morning and evening. Yeah, I got a little luck, so it's good. It's a good one. Just terrible luck, yeah. But I got a little luck, which is 4 out of 5 stars, so I feel very relieved.
We had an incredible day on Miyajima, and next time we definitely also want to spend the night. Miyajima becomes very quiet and mysterious at night. All the day trip visitors leave, and that's when you really feel the spiritual aspects of this island.
We are on our way back to Hiroshima now.
This is a must-visit destination in Japan, even if it is just a day trip.